guys are on the opposite side of my screen today. I don't even know what to do. All right. You guys can see it? We're good? So today our theme is on duplication, which if you've been around a little while, you've probably heard this term. It's like definitely Beachbody and network marketing jargon, because business is duplicating yourself. And so you'll hear, coaches say the word duplication, or you'll say like you need to duplicate, and you may be confused about what that means. And what it just means is that you're basically teaching the people that you bring in the same things you were taught, and the person who taught you that was taught it by someone else who's taught. So it's kind of that same progression. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about, because I know that we have kind of a younger team, a newer team, and so for a lot of you guys, you're just starting the whole duplication system if you haven't already, and maybe it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's really, really simple and it's not scary. So I thought we were just going to kind of talk about it a little bit and break it down. But first, I want to recognize Miss Sherry, who promoted to Ruby last Thursday. So she's been Ruby for a week, and Sherry is actually only 2 active coaches. Well, when I checked this morning, it could have changed from then till now, but this morning she was only 2 active coaches away from Diamond. So she is doing really great, but I wanted to make sure to celebrate Ruby, because Ruby doesn't even come up all that often. It's an exciting one to get to celebrate. So since it doesn't come up that often, I added the little graphic in here. If you're a Ruby coach, that means that you have at least 1 active Emerald coach on your left leg and 1 active Emerald coach on your right leg. So this promotion really means that you are duplicating and helping people to be successful as well. And one of Sherry's Emeralds is here on the call. So actually, are both of you guys on the call? I can't see everybody, but I know at least one is. So just goes to show that Sherry is inspiring people and helping them learn how to be successful too, and paying that forward. And so she's being rewarded for it. So congratulations, Sherry. I'm really excited for you. Everybody, if you haven't already told her congratulations, try to do that this week. And then we're going to take it back a little bit and talk about November qualifiers. You guys just rocked the Face Off November. It was such a killer month. We had so many people qualified for Success Club, but not only qualified, like really qualified. Like qualified for points on here. This is just incredible. And we had some people qualify for the first time, which was really exciting. And some people who had kind of taken a break come back and re-qualify for the first time in a couple months. So this was an exciting month for a lot of people on our team. So congratulations to everybody who qualified for Success Club in November. And for December, we don't have anybody yet. So who's going to be the first person who hits Success Club for December? I haven't put out our calendar yet. Sorry, guys. My birthday kind of threw my whole first week of December off. But I think it's just like every month a really, really, really good idea to spend your time now focusing on hitting Success Club, so that you're not frazzled and rushing around during the week of Christmas and Christmas Eve and New Year's, because you don't want to do that to yourself. And it may naturally happen that people contact you last minute if they want to buy it for their spouse or for themselves as a Christmas gift, or if Christmas passes and they're like, oh crap, I gained too much weight over the holidays, and they're already thinking ahead. That may happen actually, but don't rely on that for your Success Club. Try and get it all done, I would say by like the 15th or 20th, just so that you can actually kind of relax and not have to worry about, having to push for Success Club during the holidays. Because this is an important time to be with your family, and I don't want anybody like not being able to enjoy themselves. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about duplication. So like I said before, duplication just means that you're taking the things that you were taught and the systems that were shown to you and the tools that were given to you, and you are paying that forward to what I like to call is the next generation of coaches and challengers, so the people that you bring in. So your job as a coach, to break it down really simply, is threefold. Number 1, to inspire by example. So that means, that you're being a product of the product and you're sharing your journey and you're telling people, your struggles and victories and all of that kind of stuff. Number 2, to motivate, encourage, and mentor. So this goes for both. Everything that we're really going to be talking about today goes for both challengers and coaches. So whether you're a coach who is just now in the stage of finding challengers or whether you're actually starting to build a team, both of these things still apply across the board. So as a coach, you're motivating, you're encouraging, and you're mentoring, whether it's just a challenger in your challenge group or whether it's a new coach who signed up under you. And number 3, to teach others to do the same things that you've been taught to do. So that is where the duplication comes in. And just like in every single graphic that Beachbody has and that network marketing has, where it looks like a family tree, you see yourself and then 2 little people and then 2 little people under those 2 little people and 2 little people under each of those 2 little people. And all of those people have the same tools and training and foundation for success that you were given, that I was given, and we just keep passing it down and passing it down and passing it down. And it basically becomes this legacy of success, which is, kind of the mark of a really successful team, which we are quickly climbing the ranks of those groups to be. And so that duplication is really important. Okay, so maybe you're saying, well, how do I do this? Well, it's actually really, really, really simple. So I put that little keep it simple, stupid acronym in there because sometimes I think we have the tendency to overthink things, or because we do see the big picture of Beachbody and how amazing it can be, I think sometimes we create more work for ourselves for various reasons. Maybe just because we know that this potential is huge, so we have to feel like we're working hard enough to earn it. Or maybe we feel like we don't really deserve it, so we have to do more to make ourselves worthy. But when it comes down to it, it's super simple. And I love this quote from Amelia Earhart: the most effective way to do it is just to do it, because that's really what it is in this case. So how do we make sure that we're doing this duplication process? Well, like I said, we're going to keep it really simple. All the tools are given to you as a coach, and you are able to give those same tools to everybody. All the tools and trainings, new coach training, all of the little files that we have in our TeamBTFP page, our private Facebook group, in the Files tab. If you click on that, there's all kinds of resources in there. And those are just freely given to you to use for yourself, and then to also use for your challenge groups, and to also use for your new coaches to give them the same things and the same systems that you went through. There are challenge group assignments. There's mine, the one that I've kind of refined over the last year, my TeamBTFP challenge, and that's like a month-long challenge. There's Lindsay Matway's in there as well. There's a Bombshell Dynasty one that's longer. It's a 60-day challenge, so it has even more assignments. So you can kind of pick and choose. You can take those and make them your own. But the point is that you don't need to be reinventing the wheel. You don't need to be spending a ton of time building your own challenge from scratch. You have all of these things given to you. All you have to do is just take it and tweak it to make it your own, and then refine as you go. So a really good way to do it is to just take the one that you like the best. So, maybe you really jive with the whole month-long challenge group. You don't want to do ones that are longer than that. You like that 30-day thing, like what we did when you joined one of mine. So you're going to take those challenge assignments. You're going to look through them and you're going to say, okay, I really loved this one. Oh, this one wasn't really my style as much. Maybe I'll tweak this assignment to be a little bit different, or maybe I'll do this different thing completely instead. And you make it your own. And you change the verbiage so that it sounds like you're speaking instead of like I'm speaking. So maybe you use more exclamation points or more smiley faces, or maybe you're drier or more bubbly than I am. And so you just kind of tweak it. But the skeleton and the bones are all there. So you don't have to do all of that work all over again. It's right there for you. Same with the trainings. So Beachbody put out something called Coach Basics, which was really a game changer as far as everybody's teams and training went. That came out last year, and they worked on it for a really long time, but it's basically like a new coach training. And so what they wanted everybody to do was, when their new coaches came in, they wanted them to put them in these coach basic groups, which were being run through Facebook just like a challenge group would be, but it's just coaches who are in it, who are learning. And it goes over all the fundamentals, all of the things you need to know as a new coach to get started. Well, that was really, really successful. And everybody loved it. Excuse me. But, of course, just like everything through trial and error, we want to tweak and make things better. So some of us, including Lindsay, we kind of refined it to be more the bombshell style of learning. And then even taking that further to the TeamBTFP kind of style. So all of those trainings are given to you as well. When you signed up as a coach, you were sent the welcome booklet and the e-course, which is my version of Coach Basics. It's the same general information, just presented in a slightly different way. So for me, I was finding that it was really difficult for everybody to feel like they were ready all at the same time to go through a training group all at the same time. Because new coaches come in all through the month. Everybody's at different stages of life. So I thought, well, what if I could make something that was a go-at-your-own-pace version of Coach Basics? So all I did was I took Coach Basics and I basically shrunk it down from a 1-month-long Facebook training to a 2-week-long independent study course. But all the information is still, all of the key things are still there. It's just kind of refined. So that is what I kind of did to make it better. But how you want to go with your team is really up to you. If you loved that e-course and that was really great for you to be able to do it at your own pace, and you loved that you could just go through it and knock it all out, then you can use that same exact system with your coaches. It's there for you. You don't have to think that because I made it and gave it to you that you can't use it for yourself. You're more than welcome to use that as the training for your new coaches. I also added into our Facebook group files the actual 30-day Coach Basics, the one that Lindsay Matway has, and a shortened 15-day version, which is basically the same thing as my e-course, but just the Facebook group version. So you have lots of options. So if you have new coaches and you actually want to run a Facebook group with it, if you kind of like that better, then you have that option too. All of the information is the same. It's just kind of different ways of presenting it, but it's all there. So all those tools are given to you. You don't have to mentor someone from scratch on your own with coming up with a whole new way to do it. There's no reason to rework the wheel. It's proven that it works just the way it is. You can refine it to make it fit you and your style, but other than that, just run with the tools that are there. Next thing is pass on those same tools. So when you have new coaches, you kind of make sure they get started the same way, started right. And if there's anything that was difficult for you, then work on improving that so that when you're starting new people, you can give them an even better advantage than you had. So every generation of coaches as a team, we should be getting better and better and better at this process, because I'm human and I'm sure there are ways that I've made mistakes. And I'm sure that, you guys will do things that a new coach will be like, oh, that wasn't exactly perfect. And they'll refine it with their coaches to be even better and better. So that by the time that our team gets multiple levels down, this system is just going to be incredibly perfect. It's going to keep getting better and better and better. And new coaches are going to be able to start better and better. So my goal with all of you guys is to take my experience when I signed up as a coach, take anything that was difficult for me, anywhere that I struggled, anything that I didn't really like, and make it better, because I want every single coach that starts with me and that's on my team to have an easier time getting started and the biggest, highest chance of success, even more than I had. And I want you guys to have that same kind of mentality where you take what you've learned and you try and make it even better if there's any way that you feel like you can, and then you pass that on the same way. And then what you do is you teach those coaches to duplicate as well. So when you have new coaches and they get to a point when they're starting to bring coaches, you tell them, look, these trainings and these tools, these are for you to use the same way that I sent them to you. You get to send them to the people that you bring in. And the system just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. Okay, so let's talk for a second about this system, what it really means, because this was something that was really confusing for me when I started. even in the Bombshell Dynasty, where we have such great tools and such great leaders, it can be a little confusing to know exactly what the system that we're duplicating is. Because if you watch training videos from Lindsay, things are slightly different than if you watch training videos from Brittany Leggett, and things are slightly different than if you watch Scotty's, because every coach has their own, tweaks that they like to do to stuff. So I sat down one day with my success partners and I said, look, there's not necessarily one right way, but we need to figure something out that can be our system. So this is what I came up with for our system as far as things for people to focus on. So this is what is in our new coach training e-course and our welcome booklet that I made, which you guys are also welcome to send out to all of your new coaches. It has this, your first month as a coach, your second month as a coach, your third, and it just kind of gives people a breakdown of things to focus on, because otherwise it can be so overwhelming as a new coach. It's information overload and you don't really know what you should be doing. So we try to make it really simple. So everybody who joins our team, everybody who joins me, this is what I tell them. And this is what you can tell your people and teach them to tell their people. Your first month as a coach, the number one first thing that you do is you focus on your own journey and sharing it. So if someone hasn't joined a challenge group yet, that's the first thing I do, get them plugged into one. If this is a coach signing up that's already been in challenge groups, then I encourage them, if they haven't already started sharing their transformation, that they start doing that. Then the second step is to try and find 2 to 3 people to join them in the next challenge group where they're going to be an apprentice coach. So basically their first challenge that they're bringing in people to, I'm the one that's leading it, and they're just going to be in it almost like an assistant. So apprenticing just means that the pressure is off. If you're a new coach and it's your very first time selling challenge packs and you have your first few challengers, I'm not going to expect you to just start a group on your own, not knowing what to do yet. So you bring them into my group, and I will lead the group just like normal. And as an apprentice coach, your job is basically to be a model challenger. So what you do is you set the tone in the group. And then you also make sure that your challengers don't fall between the cracks. So when you see them posting, you go and you like their stuff. If they ask questions, you go and you answer them if you can. If I haven't gotten a chance to do it, you encourage them. You maybe reach out to them if you see that they're a little quiet. You reach out to them outside of the challenge group and just see how things are going. So you're still coaching. You just don't have all of the pressure of running the entire challenge group yourself. And apprenticing is basically just a way to get your toes in the water of coaching without feeling super pressured by all of that weight of running a whole group by yourself. So while my new coaches are apprenticing, they're going through the new coach e-course or Coach Basics. So if you like the idea of running a Coach Basics group, this is where you would do that instead of sending the e-course. Mine is structured to be 2 weeks long. Coach Basics is structured to be a month long. So either way, it still fits within this whole first month as a coach thing. So what we like to do is to have people learn all of those basics about, how to sell a challenge pack. What are the benefits of selling a challenge pack? How do you use your links? What does Success Club mean? What does Emerald rank mean? All of those kind of basics that are really good to know when you're just starting. That's what we like to get them to go through in the first month, because then they're empowered to go out there and do stuff on their own. And the faster that we can help people feel that confidence and feel empowered to go out and start doing stuff, the better, because we want people to be able to make up enough money to pay for their next month's Shakeology, to pay for the challenge pack that they bought, all that kind of stuff right away. Then the last thing is to be working towards Success Club 5 and Emerald rank. Now this doesn't happen for everybody in their first month, and that's fine. It's just kind of one last thing to be working towards. And in everyone's second and third month as a coach, it's super similar. The only thing that changes is that now this new coach is going to run their first challenge group on their own. So they continue sharing their own journey. Now maybe they've had some challengers with success, so they start celebrating their challengers' success. Maybe they start talking about how great the challenge group is going on their Facebook page, and maybe they talk about some of the results their challengers have had. And then they find another 2 to 3 people that month to join. But this time they're going to lead the challenge group on their own. So this is their first real, coach experience of doing the whole thing from their own. And of course, I'm still here. Our team is still here to support them when they have questions, all that kind of stuff. But What we want people to do is to feel independent as quickly as possible, because that is better for them in the long run, because they're not going to be waiting around for their upline or their sponsoring coach to do stuff for them. They're going to be able to go out there and make money, and they're going to be able to go out there and affect change and all of this kind of stuff on their own without kind of being held back. So the faster we can help people feel independent, the better. So they're going to be leading their own challenge group. Now, at this point, they may have some people that want to become coaches, because it's really common for people who have a really great experience in the challenge group to want to sign up as a coach, either for the discount or because they really love the experience and they want to do it too. So at this point, in a second or third month, a lot of the time coaches will be starting their own coaches off. And this is where duplication kind of starts to come into play. And again, they're still working towards Success Club 5 and Emerald rank. Success Club 5 is something that, we want everybody to work towards every single month. And then Emerald rank, since it's the first promotion, it makes sense that that's something they'll be working toward. And it's really that simple. And then it's just the same thing the next month, sharing their own journey, because as coaches, we're constantly leading by example, leading from the front, celebrating the success of their challengers, all the great stuff that's happening in their challenge group, and then continuing to lead challenge groups every month, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's break it down again to make it really, really, really simple, because I don't want anybody to think that this is difficult. And I love this quote as well. Overthinking ruins you, ruins the situation, twists things around and makes you worry, and that just makes everything worse than it actually is. So that is completely true in coaching. When you start overthinking things and starting to worry, this whole thing becomes way bigger than it actually has to be, because at its core, it's super simple and super natural. The progression is really natural and organic. So it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Number 1, you start as a coach, you share your journey. You find a couple people who want to join you, and you apprentice in a challenge while you're going through your new coach training. Number 2, you help the people that you found before to succeed, and you find more people. Now you lead a group on your own, and then you just keep repeating that each month after. Step 3, you start adding coaches, and this whole system repeats itself with them. So that's as easy as it is. That's as easy as duplication is. It's really nothing fancy. Don't feel like you have to have some sort of crazy mentorship capacity or crazy amounts of time that you're going to have to be dedicating to everybody. It's really this simple. And it's actually better if you don't kind of go off the deep end with it, because you really want to be able to give people the tools and let them step up to the plate on their own to foster that sense of independence and confidence, because that's going to be better for them in the long run as a coach. All right. Now, you may be thinking well, you're talking about all these things, but I don't know what they are. So all the tools that you need, they're in the Files tab of our team page. But beyond that, everything you need is also in the Coach Online office. So if there's not something in our team page, don't feel like it doesn't exist or that you can't go out looking for it. You can find everything you could ever need in this business on the Coach Online office. The tools that are in our File tab are basically just consolidated versions of the stuff that Beachbody has already put out, or stuff that's just been refined that Beachbody put out. So we're just giving you basically our trial and error results. Here's the stuff that Beachbody did. We did it, and here's the good stuff, here's the bad stuff. We made it even better. And so that's what's in there. So in the File tab, the Coach Basics is in there. There's also a link to the e-course. I also have in there, I literally just copy and pasted the welcome emails that I sent to use them like a template to make your own welcome emails for your own new coaches. The links to the e-course and the welcome booklet, like I said, all different versions of challenge assignments. Mine, the Bombshell Dynasty one, and a couple other ones. There's also different helpful tools like the master list of direct links, a list of our team calls, a bunch of documents with different verbiage help from other coaches. The one from Morgan Rieger when she did our team call, and she broke it down exactly how she talks to people and sells challenge packs, because she is a challenge pack selling machine, and so is everybody on her team. She broke down that system for us step by step and included actual conversation examples. That's in there. There's also all different stuff about responding to objections and how to handle that kind of thing in there. And so you can use all of those things and you can pass all of them on to the people that you bring in. There's also advanced trainings in there. So for a lot of you guys that are new, you're not even going to need this for a little while, but some of you guys have been here long enough that you may need to lead an Emerald to Diamond training. And all of those are now in there. I went and made sure before this call that I organized everything today, that it was all in there for you guys and easy to find. So those are in there too. So as you grow, you can use more and more of these resources that are already available to you, already consolidated in one place, made into a pretty little package, perfect for you guys, to help save you time, to help you have the best possible chance of success, to help you guys not have to waste time reinventing anything. It's all right there for you. So that is what duplication is all about. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to our screen share if you guys want to give me a second to do that.